In this video, we're going to go through my morning routine for spinach. Now, I think spinach is great for your digestive system. If you have any digestive problems, get you some spinach in your diet. It's easy to do, it's fast, you can do it in the morning, you get in a routine and you can rock it. What I put in here is I get the frozen spinach, chopped spinach from Walmart, and get whatever, but I get the 12 ounce. If you can see that, the 12 ounce size bag. It's just for the convenience. It's frozen. You can pull it, cut off the top real quick, and put it in a pot in the morning. Doesn't take long at all. Once you get the hang of it, it goes by really quick. Now, what I do is I get hot water from the faucet and put in here, so it's a lot warmer when it goes in there because it takes less time. And then I put the stove on, I don't know if you can see that, I put the stove on medium, the burner, and then once I put that on, I put a plate on it just like that. And then I go and get ready, take a shower, brush my teeth, and when I come back, it's ready at that point. Now, you'll have to play with the times that you leave it in here, because if you leave it in here too long, as you can see, it's boiling right now. I usually let it boil for about 5 minutes. And you want to change that depending on the taste. So a lot of this is there's acid inside of this. There's a certain type of acid, and it helps boil that out, which tastes better and it's supposed to be better for you. But like I said, if you leave it in there too long, it'll be like a rubbery. It's kind of gross. So you have to play with the time that you leave it in there. So we're going to go ahead and turn this off. And as you can see, it's already been boiling for a while. And then, so the amazing thing I think about spinach is, I just put some spinach after it was in the blender on this plate. I just poured some on here and let it set for a while. But you can see that it turns like this green. And I think it's amazing stuff. That's like chlorophyll is what you're looking at. And that's what the animals eat. The sun works with the trees to create that green stuff on the leaves, which is chlorophyll, and that's what that actually is. I think it does incredible healthy things for your body, and I can tell you for a fact, like if I'm eating out a lot, and I don't, like, let's say I'm on vacation or something, I don't drink a green shake for a week, and I'm on, eating all this fast food, and man, I just kind of feel down, don't really feel my best. But when I get back home and I start drinking the green shake again, I just feel so much better, like my digestive system. So I really think if you have any kind of heartburn or any kind of digestive problems, man, just start with this, put this in your diet, and then go from there. At least you'll have, like if you drank this in the morning or at night before you go to bed, at least you'll have one really good healthy thing in your diet. And like I said, I think it's something with this chlorophyll that does something in your system. And take in consideration too, back in the old days when they were on those ships and the guys would get so sick, they start falling apart. And they couldn't figure it out. Well, they finally figured it out that they didn't have the fruits and vegetables, and they really narrowed it down. I think on some of the ships they were giving them limes, but oranges would be the same because they weren't getting vitamin C was one of their problems. So I find that fascinating. And you are what you eat. Look at that documentary they did on McDonald's for that guy. I think it was for a month he had at McDonald's, but at the end of the month he's like falling apart. So you got to get some greens in, and if you're having a hard time, if you're stressed, you get up and you go get some coffee or get a donut, and you just don't have time to get the greens in. This is a great way to do it. Just do it first thing in the morning, get it out of the way, and you're done. Also, I did another video on this, but incorporating this is ginger in there, and I really don't know. I can't really speak for the health benefits of it because I don't know personally, but I have read a lot of good things about it, and the reason that I was going to incorporate this in there is because I was watching this video of the oldest living guy, and he looked like awesome. He looked like a really great condition, and I just remember one of the things he said is he ate ginger every day. So, and I've heard a lot of other people, a lot of good things about it. So, I was just going to start putting it in there, just see what happens. But definitely the spinach, I can definitely tell you 100% for sure, eating spinach in the mornings, I feel a lot better. My digestive system feels great. Okay, so let's say you got ready, you put this on, you went and got ready, brush your teeth, take a shower, come back, and it's done. So at this point, what I would do is I would just pick this whole thing up, because that top lid is going to be very hot, and simply put it in the sink. So this is very hot. You can pull it off, but sometimes underneath there's some spinach. And once that spinach dries on something, it's hard to get off. So I usually put it on here and let the water run on there, some cool water, and that kind of cools that off. And then just flip it over. If there's any spinach on there, put it inside there. And then at that point, get the strainer out, and we're going to move this around. So I'm going to pause this for a minute. It's a little hard to do holding the camera. I'll be right back. All right, I got this camera set up on the oatmeal jar, so I'm going to pour this in here. And it's simple as that. So, and as you can see, it's really not taking a long time. You'd think, man, to make a fresh spinach shake every morning is going to take a while, but really doesn't take that long because most of the parts are done on the stove. So you just pour it in here, and what I do is once I pour it in here, I move it around like this. But the first thing I do is turn on the cold water. And if you have one of these, it's really great because you can just rinse off the spinach like this. And it cools it down a little bit too, because you don't want it too hot, because it can be like way too hot when you drink it. But at the same time, I was drinking one of these with my son. He drinks them too every morning with me. But if you get it too cold, and it'll be a preference. I like it just a little warm, because one time we got it really cold. It was really cold out, and I put cold water on here and blended it real quick. So we were drinking it, and it was like cold. It got cold spinach, and he said something about it, and I noticed it too. It was harder to drink, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if it's just a little warm, so this is still going to be warm. If you don't rinse it off too much with too much cold water, it'll be a little warm. So when you drink it, it just seems like it goes down easier. So anyway, after you take this and rinse it off, I usually just spin it like this to get any extra water out and any of the small shavings. And then you have a nice big piece here. And then what we'll do is just put that inside the blender here. And I usually just grab it with my hand and put it inside there like this. Just get as much as you can out of there. And then once it's in the blender, then you can just take some pre-measured water and put it in there. And we're also going to put, this is 3 grams of ginger. We're going to put that in there. And you really, if you ate this ginger, it's so potent, it's incredible. But if you blend it in with spinach, you can't really taste it. So we'll put that in there, and then we're going to put a pre-measured amount of water inside there also. And that's what you have to play with too, and that's one of the big things, how much water that you put in there. If you put too much water, it's going to be really liquidy. If you don't put enough, it's going to be too thick. So you got to play with the consistency of it, because if it's too watery, it might be kind of hard to drink, or if it's too thick, it's going to be hard to drink. But if it's too watery, you're not going to get enough spinach, because you're going to be getting more water, and your stomach can only hold so much. So I try to get it. I've got it down for almost perfect now. I do 12 ounces of spinach, and then let me get the cup so I can show you. I'll be right back. All right, so I have it measured out, 12 ounces of spinach with 16 ounces of water. I use purified water. I used to use bottled water, but it was cheaper to use filtered water. So I put 16 ounces in there and then just pour it all into blender. So in the blender now, it has, I used to put in raspberries and stuff and try to spruce it up, but now I just do just the straight shot of spinach, and then you can see the little ginger down in there. And then put that water in there, 16 ounces or 2 cups, and 12 ounces of spinach, and then blend this bad boy up hard. And again, like I said, it doesn't take that long in the morning. Total time, maybe 5 minutes, because the stove's doing all the work. It's just sitting there boiling. I'm getting ready. I just get a hot pan, fill it up with hot water, pour in the spinach, put the plate on it, and then go. And then come back, strain it real quick, pour it in the blender with the water, and then blend it. So I'm going to pause this because this is going to get really loud, and I'll be right back. All right, that's it. Got it all blended up. Now, my kids also drank this. Surprisingly, they will drink it down, and they do an awesome job at it. I give them, even my 5-year-old, he rocks it. So yeah, just pour it on in there. And so again, I'm not drinking this for flavor, like some people try to doctor them up and stuff. I'm not drinking it for flavor. I'm drinking it for health reasons. So I don't sit there and sip on it, and, you know, some kind of a drink I like to drink and taste of it. But I do actually like the taste of it. You kind of have to acquire the taste every time. It's one of those things. But I'll just like down this whole thing and then head off to work. So it's simple as that. So I'm gonna go ahead and drink it and knock this thing out so you can hear it. I'll just do it in one swig. It seems like a lot, but you kind of get used to it. But I'm telling you, man, I can't think of anything else that will really clean you out and keep you going and help your digestive system. I just think it's great. And I really do think it's just like that, you know, same as like getting scurvy or something. If you're not getting the greens in your diet, you know, vitamin C, certain vitamins and chemicals that you need, then I think you're going to be kind of sickly or not feel good all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and down this so you can hear it. Man, this video is on 10 minutes. This is a long one. All right, I'll be back. Oh, man. Woo! See, it feels awesome. And that's it. Doesn't take too long. Well, you know, at least you got one good healthy thing for the day, and you can go out and rock that day. So if you, I'd love to hear about your routine. If you drink a green shake or if you make a different kind of shake, what is your routine? I'd love to hear about it. The next thing I want to do in my diet, I'm trying to eat better. I've been trying to do a lot better for a long time, but sometimes I'm on and off. But the spinach shake I've been really good about, and that's pretty consistent. You know, it's almost like brushing my teeth. It's just something I do every morning. But the next thing I want to do, is what I've heard good things about, is like old-fashioned oats. Like maybe drink the shake in the morning and then eat whatever I want at lunch, pizza or a hamburger or, you know, Mexican food. And then for dinner, just have, you know, some good oats. Oats is supposed to be really good for you. And so that may be my next step for my diet. Shake in the morning, oats at night, and then whatever I want whatever I want to eat, you know, for lunch. So that might be finish up. But I'd love to hear what your diet is, what you do to stay healthy and feel good. All right, thank you for watching the video, and take care.